we're going to take a look at a pattern that is in common use in many projects around the web. It's in use because the developers settled on it and never looked for another way. Here it is. Essentially, the code is the same as what we've seen so far. We're just nesting the calls to load content in the success callback of the previous load. So, once content-1 is loaded, we then start loading content-2. Once that's loaded, we start loading content-3. Finally, once that is loaded, we enable the Proceed button. This pattern works. That's why it's in use in so many projects. It's just that it has some issues. First of all, notice the multiple indents. This is called the Christmas tree effect. Each indent looks like a lower branch on a Christmas tree. The second problem is that it removes the asynchronous nature of the content loading. What's the point of using an asynchronous transport if we're just going to run it in a synchronous manner? Let's look at the results of this logic. Watch the content loading progression. Content-1 loaded right away, and there was a perceptible pause for Content-2. Content-3 also appeared simultaneously with Content-2 since it is so small. Let's think about this for a second. Just because we have to wait for all content to load before we can proceed with some logic doesn't mean the user should have to wait to see some data. Since our second content is the largest, that means the user didn't see the third content at all until the second was completed. What if the largest content was in the first section? The long delay would make most users think nothing was working. Few things are less interesting to web users than a blank screen. The final problem with this pattern is it can't be scaled. What if we wanted to load 6 content areas? What about 20? It won't take too many more indents before we can't even see our code on the screen. Sure, there are other ways to format the code, but do we really want to change our coding style just to mask the problems of process logic? We really want to maintain asynchronous processes, be able to scale our solution, and also maintain it.